AITA for bonding with my stepdad and making my biological dad feel replaced. So this is a bit complicated. I 16F have lived mostly with my mom and stepdad Tom since I was about 10. My biological dad, Brian, lives a few hours away, and we've had a decent relationship but haven't been super close since my parents divorced. I see him a few times a year, but we're more like casual friends than father and son. My stepdad Tom has always been there for me. He takes me to my games, helps with homework, and actually listens when I have a problem. Over the years, we've developed a bond. He even taught me how to drive recently, which was a big deal for me. With him around, I feel like I have a real dad figure in my life. Last month, my mom threw a small family party, and I invited both my biological dad and Tom. At one point, my bio dad noticed that Tom and I were laughing over some inside joke and asked what was so funny. I tried to explain, but it was one of those you had to be there moments. I could tell he felt awkward, and he was quieter the rest of the day. Later, my bio dad pulled me aside and said it hurt to see me so close to Tom. He said it felt like I didn't need him anymore, and I could tell he was really upset. I tried to tell him that he was still my dad and important to me, but he brushed it off, saying it was obvious that I'd moved on. He left early, and I felt terrible. After that, he sent me a long text saying that he felt like he was losing his son and that he wasn't sure where he stood in my life anymore. Now, he's barely responded to my texts, and I feel guilty for making him feel replaced, even though I can't help that Tom and I get along so well. Am I the a-hole for being close with my stepdad, even though it's made my bio dad feel replaced? Should I try to fix things with my bio dad? Or is it okay to just enjoy the bond I have with Tom? Update 1. Hey everyone, thanks for all the feedback on my original post. I wanted to give an update because things have developed, and I'm not sure if I made things better or worse. After reading the advice and thinking it over, I decided to reach out to my bio dad Brian to clear the air. I called him, and we ended up having a pretty long conversation. I told him how much he means to me and that even though Tom and I are close, he's still my dad. I tried to explain that having Tom in my life doesn't mean I want to replace him, it just means I have two people I look up to. I thought it would go over well, but things got kind of emotional and tense. Brian said he appreciated me reaching out, but admitted he feels like he's on the outside of my life and that it's hard to watch me build a father-son relationship with someone else. He also mentioned that he feels like he missed out on so much of my life and wishes he'd been around more. I could tell he was genuinely hurt, and it felt awful to see him so vulnerable. I suggested that maybe we could plan some time together, just the two of us, and try to build more memories together, but he seemed hesitant and said, "It's not that simple." He thinks it'll be hard to compete with Tom, especially since I live with him full-time and see him every day. It's clear that Brian feels like he's playing catch-up, and I'm not sure how to make it right. He even asked me outright if I consider Tom more of a dad than him, which was a super hard question to answer. Meanwhile, Tom has noticed I've been a little distant with him lately, and he asked if everything was okay. I didn't go into detail, but I feel like he might have an idea of what's going on. Now I'm stuck in this awkward spot, feeling like I'm letting both of them down. So yeah, I tried to make things better, but now I feel more confused than ever. Thanks to everyone who commented on the first post. I think I'll keep trying with Brian, but I'm worried that the damage might already be done. Any advice on handling this would be really appreciated.